All right, we come together. Everybody stand up, come on. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, recognize the God in you. Feel love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, and honor the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you. Feel love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. Ooh, I think everybody's out shopping today. I'm not sure. I still keep it. Well, welcome to the Center for Church of Unity of Bremerton. Can you hear me? Okay, better. I probably should tape this in the future. Anyway, my name is Reverend Linda Fisher. I am the spiritual leader of the center, and it's a joy and a pleasure to be here. On your seats, there was a little gift from me so that everybody gets a gift today going home. Just a little Merry Christmas to say that I love each and every one of you. So before we get started, let's just open it up with a prayer. So just take a deep breath and just turn within. And know that each one of us is here by divine appointment, that there's no accidents in life. We have been called here today to celebrate new beginnings, to celebrate the season of life. So as we gather here today, break bread, share gifts, let us remember that we are beautiful, that we are loved, that we are incredibly magnificent. For it is a time of celebration. It's a time of remembering who we are and what a joy it is to be in fellowship, to be with a center that is loving and kind and generous. So I set my intention today to be filled with love and passion and joy. And as we all break bread today, let us remember the individuals that are not here today with us and send them a healing light. So I release my word into the universe knowing that it is done and it is so. Okay, all right. Okay, so our mission statement is, we are a welcome community supporting our mutual quest for spiritual truth. No matter where you are in your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. So, and with that, we will move on to the lighting of the flames. So today we were honored here today to have Deborah Lee, one of our head chaplains here. She's graciously said yes, she would help me out today. So today is the lighting of the flames of service, which we call true service. We perform the ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal principles, which we call spirit. Fundamentally to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. The first candle is for the Tao, honoring the universal paths of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. Next is the shamanic tradition, honoring the beliefs and practice of all native people, the way of primary spirituality. Following by Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle is for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion, wisdom, love, and kindness. The sixth candle is for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle is for all form of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. Followed by the Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And as Deborah lights the next candle, it is for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The next candle is for all who are yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them at this center, and for all those religious unnamed in this ceremony. And as Deborah Lee, it's okay, put it down. And as Deborah lights the Christ candle, please put into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love. And now we have a song from our dear Michael.
I'm going to do a Christmas carol here. By the way, speaking of Christmas carols, I have a CD. I brought some today. They're from my old band in California. We did this in 2015. It's really a nice album of traditional Christmas carols and some of the, standards. We wish you a Merry Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So if you want one, they'll be in the back today. A great stocking stuffer. The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields where they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. saw a star shining in the east, beyond them far, and to the earth it gave great light, and so it continued both day and night. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. The star drew nigh to the northwest, over Bethlehem it took its rest, and there it did both stop and stay, right over the place where Jesus lay. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Then entered in those wise men free, foreverly upon their knee, and offered there in His presence their gold and myrrh and frankincense. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel.
The fourth Sunday in the Advent season, daily word is choosing joy. My greatest joy is discovering the presence of God within me. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote that joy is the happiness of God expressed through His perfect idea, humankind. That's us. Witnessing the unbridled joy of children on Christmas morning brings a smile to my face and gives me a warm feeling. Although my childhood may be a distant memory, joy remains an active part of my life. I find joy in the beauty of holiday decorations, in the fellowship of family and friends, and in giving and receiving gifts. I discovered that my greatest joy is knowing and feeling the presence of God within me. I recognize and rejoice in God's presence in me and see it in everyone I meet. I know that joy is always present and can be called into expression at every moment. From Galatians 5, verse 22, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness. Today, my greatest joy is discovering the presence of God within me. God bless us.
All right, this is an original Christmas song. Oh, behold this holy child as he lays here sleeping. He will teach us all to love each other in His keeping. Come and see this holy child on this Christmas morning. See the wonder in His eyes as the sun is dawning. We will open up your heart and teach you that you are a part of all of God and one another, and you must learn to love each other. cares will be taken. Quickly come and see, He's born you and me, and He will lead us to the way of living here and now. We will open up your heart and teach you that you are a part of God and one another, and you must learn to love each other. Come and see this holy child on this Christmas morning.
Thank you, Michael. That was so beautiful. There you go, my love. So I called Debbie this week and I said, would you do me the honor of presiding with me on Sunday? And she graciously said yes. So, how are things going for you? How is this whole month been with the wisdom, love, and joy, and coming into the season of Christmas?
Well, we've actually, our calendar is usually pretty full, and this month has been no exception. So it's all been going very well. We've had to be very planful. So,
And I understand you had the Christmas parade.
we, as you all know, we're members of the Paulsville Yacht Club, and every year we do a boat parade to serve the community. All the families call in if they happen to have waterfront property and or a view of the water, and they'll call in and have Santa call out to their families, anniversaries, birthdays, kids. So we were celebrating our 50th anniversary doing that.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
we tried to get 50 boats, but we got 36. I won't say only, because that's the most we've ever had. And the parade was about 1.5 miles long of boats. So it was magnificent.
And I understand it didn't rain.
And it didn't rain. It was a beautiful night. We had gusts of 2 miles per hour in the wind.
Wow.
So it was an exceptionally nice night. So, yes. And
And
Diamond Knot looked really beautiful in the dark. Ron did a great job decorating, and we actually made the paper
oh,
on the
awesome.
Kitsap Daily News. If you on the online, they posted a picture of Diamond Knot, so you might check that out.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you, Debbie. That was wonderful. Good.
Very grateful.
And we want to read our affirmation.
Yes. So I'll read it first and then we can say it together. I am a perfect child of God, filled with wisdom, peace, joy, and light. Together, I am a perfect child of God, filled with wisdom, peace, joy, and light.
Amen. Thank you very much. Sorry, somebody gonna, because you're going to do the announcements. You're coming back up. Oh. Michael? It's all good.
One of my greatest hits. From the album, you know. Like a sunbeam to the sun, I am one with God. Like a wave upon the ocean, I am one with God. I am one with God. I am one with God. like a sunbeam to the sun. I am one with God, like a wave upon the ocean. I am one with God. I am one with God. I am one with God. Like a sunbeam to the sun, I am one with God. Like a wave upon the ocean, I am one with God. 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 I am one with God.
Let us all go within and connect with that infinite presence of that one with God. And as we take a deep breath, just come into this room, into this moment, set everything aside, things that you may have to do for the rest of the day, and just be present. You're taking a deep breath in, breathing in the love of God, and breathing out peace, and connecting with that infinite divine within. God for this time together, for the connection of spirit, embracing the love and joy and peace that is within each and every one of us. I give great thanks knowing that we are all one. And together we say, Amen. Thank you, Michael. So my talk today is about the season of light. So I say Merry Christmas from my heart to yours, and welcome the viewers at home and to those that are not with us here today. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. As we prepare for the Christmas season and are thinking of all the preparations and gifts of loved ones, let us not forget to pray. Pray for those who are not at home with loved ones because they are serving our country near and far. Pray for the first responders locally and around the country. Pray for all those working in the medical fields, keeping care over those that are ill and that are healing. Pray for the world. Pray for peace on earth and goodwill to all men. Let us remember how rich we are in love. Not everyone is celebrating this joyous of holidays as they are mourning, grieving the loss of loved ones, the loss of a job, divorce, or maybe a breakup of a friendship. I recognize that not everyone is in a celebrating mood as I receive calls and emails asking for prayer. I remember just as the sun wakes us to a new day, the Spirit of God within awakens us to divine glory in all creations. This glory within and around us is everywhere we look and in every situation we encounter. I say to myself, I awaken to your spirit within me, dear God, and you see your presence active in all creations. Nothing can disturb the peace of my soul as I am enfolded in the guiding light of God. Every part of my body is infused with the glorious Spirit. I feel it energizing me, and I feel the sense of peace within. Certain that healing has taken place within me and those I pray for. I breathe in your life-giving spirit and feel your healing activity deep within as I awaken to the all-providing Spirit of God. I am prosperous. I am love. I am joy. I am that reflection of you as you embody this Christmas spirit this day, tomorrow, next week, New Year's, wherever you are. You take that spirit with you. Charles Fillmore says, the fire of spirit is never ceasing. It's life-giving, purifying glory. This is the week before Christmas. There are many people celebrating in their own way this month, from Hanukkah to the season of light around the world. We here at Unity celebrate the Christ consciousness within us and in all beings. I believe this month for most beings brings great joy and connection for people, or it may be to some stress, anxiety, and even depression in their shopping. I remember loved ones that no longer are with us in body, but they're here in spirit. Wherever you are on this holiday, we welcome you here today. This is my desire and prayer that you will be nurtured and nourished by your experience as we celebrate the birth of Jesus. Now, in New Thought, we do not exclusively celebrate the birth of the man, but rather we expand our celebration to the birth of the cosmic Christ in all of us, using the man as our master teacher, because I believe Jesus was our teacher. He was here to teach each and every one of us. He taught that God's compassion embraces all people and all life form. There are no preconditions for it, nothing we need to do first and nothing we have to believe. When we are ready to receive it, it is there. And the more we live in its presence, the more effectively it flows through us. As we celebrate what it means to live from a place of cosmic or Christ consciousness today, we are putting on the Christ season. I'm going to grab something different. Shut me off. It keeps cutting in and out, so I'm going to go a different way. So as we celebrate what it means to live from a place of cosmic or Christ consciousness today, we are putting on the Christ season of light as we come together, which reminds me of a story. You always know I have a story for you, right? Well, this one may not be entirely true, but Snoopy says it's a possibility. But it's a good one and it applies to our work here today. So as we look at it as a parable. It is told that a seminar professor was vacationing with his wife in Tennessee. And one morning they were eating breakfast at a little restaurant, hoping to enjoy a quiet family meal. While they were waiting for their food, they noticed a very distinguished white-headed man walking around to each table. And he whispered to his wife, "I hope he doesn't stop here." But sure enough, the man did come over to their table. "Where are you folks from?" he asked in a friendly voice. They answered, "We're from Oklahoma." "Great to have you here in Tennessee," the stranger said. "And what do you do for a living, sir?" "I teach at a seminar," he replied. "Oh, so you teach preachers how to preach, do you?" "Well, I've got a really good story for you." And with that, the gentleman sat down at the table with the couple. And the professor groaned. And he thought to himself, "Great, just another preaching story. Just what I need today." The man started. He said, "See that mountain over there?" Pointing out the window. Not far from the base of the mountain, there was a little boy born to an unwed mother. He had a hard time growing up because every place he went, he was always asked the same question. "Hey boy, who's your daddy?" And whenever he was in school or at a grocery store or out in the town, people would ask the same question. "Who's your daddy?" He would hide at recess and lunchtime from other students, and he would avoid going into stores where there were people, because he knew that they would ask the question, "Who's your daddy?" So he felt very, very bad, and he was a very, very lonely boy. And when he was about 12 years old, a new preacher came to the church, and the little boy would always go in early and sneak in, and he would sneak out after the service. But one day, the preacher said the benediction really short, and the little boy got caught. So he had to go out with the other people, and he was really dreading it. So just about the time he got to the door, the new preacher, not knowing anything about the little boy, put his hand on his shoulder and he said, "Son, who's your daddy?" He could feel the eyes of those around him looking at him. Now everyone would finally know the answer to the question, "Who is your daddy?" This new preacher, he sensed the situation around him, and tapping on to his shoulder and tapping into his own intuition, said to the scared little boy, "Wait a minute, I know who you are. I see that familiar resemblance. Sure enough, you are a child of God." With that, he patted the boy on the shoulder and said, "You've got a great inheritance. Go and claim it." And with that, the boy smiled and he walked out the door, a changed person. He was never the same again. From then on, whenever anybody asked him, "Who's your daddy?" he would just tell them, "I'm a child of God." The distinguished gentleman got up from the table and said, "Isn't that a great story?" And the professor responded that it really was a great story and thought that he actually would share that with his seminar students. And as the man turned to leave, he said, "You know, if that new preacher hadn't told me that I was one of God's children, I might not have amounted to anything today." And he walked away. The seminar professor and his wife were stunned, and he called the waitress over and asked her, "Do you know who that man was that was sitting at our table?" The waitress grinned and said, "Oh, of course, honey, everybody knows him. That's Ben Hooper. He's the former governor of Tennessee." Great story, isn't it? I kind of really love that. I read that and I thought, yeah, we never know who's going to sit at our table, right? So God's compassion embraces all people. There are no preconditions for it, nothing that we need to do for us and nothing we have to believe. When we are ready to receive it, it is there. And the more we live in it, in its presence, the more effectively it flows through us. We don't have to do or be anything in order to receive God's love and compassion. There are no preconditions for it. It is bestowed on all of us, whether it is a fatherless little boy from Tennessee or you and me. You know, and it reminded me of when I was a little girl growing up, because I was always told my dad wasn't my dad. And so it was the story that I just read you really resonated to me because I grew up not knowing until I was an adult who my father was. Because my grandmother always told me, "You belong to the milkman." And I would say, "The milkman? What's the milkman got to do with my mom?" So it's a way of relating, but I can remember walking in and hearing that first word, that I was a child of God, and God was my father. That changed my life many years ago. But it's something to think about. You know, we're never alone. God is always with us, and He is. He is closer than we think. So behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man will open it, I will come in and supper with you. And that is from the Bible. No matter where you are in consciousness, all you have to do is knock, meaning be willing to receive the love of God, and you will find the new experience. Ask Christ consciousness to open your heart and be willing to change in this season of light through love. Because you are sitting in the center and hearing my voice, I know you are willing to receive the love of God. The more we are willing to not only receive, but then to live in its presence, to putting on the Christ, the more effectively it flows through us. Ernest Holmes says, as the human gives way to the divine in all people, they became the Christ. Jesus gave us the formula to do this when he said, "You must be born anew." He meant that we must be reborn to the awareness of the Christ potential within all of us, the light of God within us, so that it may spring forth into expression and illuminate our lives and others. We must live in its presence so it can flow through us. This is the consciousness I invite you to bring to the table this month as we celebrate the joy of life. Charles Fillmore wrote this. The feast of the pure substance of spirit is ever accessible to the individual. Before one can partake fully of the substance of spirit, there must be a willingness to turn the attention to the ideas of spirit, to the exclusion of all outer attractions. Having turned our attention to the invisible substance, we move upon it with our thoughts and words of truth and faith, believing that our words are instantly fulfilled, full in spirit. So as you ask and you go into prayer for things that you want and desire in your life, please remember, you already have them. They're already there. You are the light. You are the peace. You are the one that carries the truth. Maybe open a door for somebody. Maybe buy a cup of coffee for the person behind you. Maybe send a card to somebody you haven't seen in a long time. Whatever it is in your heart that reaches out to you, remember it 365 days a year, not only at Christmas. Always remember that you are the gift and that you are truly amazing. So in this holiday, it is here, I am here to remind you to put on the Christ, the consciousness of the cosmic Christ, and let it flow through you, around you, as you celebrate the Christ consciousness in your sharing in this season of light and love. And in the quiet of my soul, I hear the sound of my being. And truly remember, love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. Because you are amazing, incredible, passionate, gifted people. And it's my pleasure to be here today. So with that, we have a special music, Michael.
All right, this is a time of year when a lot of things are going on, as Reverend mentioned. So it's called I Am Healed. I hope that it will help you. I am healed in His love. I am healed through His love. I am healed by God's love. I am complete and I am whole. God is my strength. I need not strain. He carries me beyond all pain. I am healed in His love. I am healed through His love. I am healed by God's love. I am complete and I am whole. God is my help. He sets me free. God lives in me eternally. I am healed in His love. I am healed through His love. I am healed by God's love. I am complete and I am whole. I am complete and I am whole. I am complete and I am whole. I am healed.
And would the ushers please come forward? Okay, offering Please repeat after me. Divine love in
and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. So please put your hands forward. Blessing our love for the day, and Deborah is going to say the blessing.
Father, Mother God, we give thanks for these gifts and for the bounty from which they came. We give thanks for all of the goodness that it will go forth and do, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Okay, time for announcements. So I haven't had a chance to do this since I've been off the board, so this is kind of fun. Hi. Okay, so we have a water releasing ceremony coming. In this symbol offering, we will release scarcity, fear, and our regrets, the past and our baggage, to weave solid new beginnings. This sacred ceremony is similar in intent to the burning bowl ceremony many of you might be familiar with. So a water releasing ceremony, and that'll be on January 5th. Next, on January 9th, we have our life visioning class. Continue to weave new beginnings during this hour-and-a-half session. We will meet here at 6:30 p.m. upstairs and align our vibration to a higher order of being. And then Sundays at noon, beginning January 12th, we'll have a prosperity class. Prosperity is about more than material wellness. Join the circulation dance and balance all areas of your life. Experience greater happiness, health, wealth, and love. Pre-registration is required to ensure we order your class materials before class begins. There's a sign-up sheet on the welcome table back there. This is a tithing class and has a $20 material fee. And then we have our Course in Miracles Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. New books have arrived. Please see Jamie McAllister. He facilitates this hour of miracles. And then our prayer chaplain team. Prayer is the foundation of our teaching. Please engage a chaplain if you have any prayer requests. They are here to listen to your challenges and your triumphs. Let's pray ourselves to greater awakened awareness. Thank you.
Okay, let's just stand where we are, hold the hand next to you, and we'll do our peace song, and then we'll go and celebrate. us